Welcome back again. I'm John Shepkoff. And how does the consumer debt program work? Well, first of all, what programs are involved for the consumer debt? Any type of a credit card, any kind of student loans like Sallie Mae, any type of an automobile loan, any type of a line of credit on your mortgage. Most likely that is a line of credit, okay? Line of credits are treated differently. It is not a true real estate loan, okay? Line of credits are totally different. So we treat those like a consumer debt. Because why? Well, just to give you a heads up, if you compare a consumer debt like a credit card or an auto loan, you multiply it by 3. So if it was like a 5%, it's a 15% real estate loan. If you just understand that part alone, whatever the interest rate you have, multiply it by 3, that's what it equates as a real estate. That's how much interest you are paying on that. Now, what is the effective interest rate? Well, the effective interest rate is totally different. You've heard me talk about it if you're on my mortgage program. The effective interest rate is that is the upfront that the lender makes on the credit card or the auto loan or the Sallie Mae, okay, which is called front loading, and front loading is effective interest rate. Very few people will even talk about what's called effective interest rate. You have annual percentage rate of the credit card like a 5%, but if you compare it to a real estate, you know it's really 3 times 5 is 15%. That's what it would equate as a real estate. So what I'm trying to say is, credit card, the way it happens is, credit card interest rate is done daily, not yearly, daily, which is the reason why if you have a credit card debt is the first thing you want to do. You want to eliminate all type of credit card debt, line of credit, auto loan, students, you name it. That's your first priority, really, is to get rid of it. Now, there are some people who want to do both. They want to do the line of, or they want to do the consumer debt program, and they want to do the real estate, and that's okay. But if you had a choice between the two, if you've never paid any extra money toward the principal on the real estate, I'm going to tell you, you want to stick with my consumer debt program first. So, how does it work? Well, I'm not going to tell you that part. But I will tell you this, that I'm going to give you an Excel program in Microsoft that I put together. It is totally different than the way you currently make your payments. Totally different. In fact, it's so different, nobody is doing what I'm doing. Why? Well, first of all, it is very complicated, and if you remember at the very beginning of the introduction of my debt-free program, I said that consumer debt, it takes me 3 to 5 business days to do all the calculations. It is very complex. It takes a lot of work. And I really don't charge enough. In fact, I really lose money if you think about it, because it takes me 3 to 5 business days to do this. I do this as a courtesy, okay, because I want to help you. And most people are in the ditch of consumer debt, which is where they're paying 3 times the amount of interest on that consumer debt. And if you called it effective interest rate, the amount of interest rate would be about 87%. Now, if the credit card or the auto loan or the Sallie Mae loan told you this is an 80% interest rate, you'd tell them to take a flying hike. You can float rocks. And that's legitimate. It's understandable. But nobody talks about effective interest rate. That is the money that is put on top of the loan. Now, just to give you highlights, the average person, it's about $5,000 to $10,000. I'm going to talk about $5,000 only. The way it works is, a person, I don't care what it is, whether it's a line of credit, whether it's a auto loan, credit card, you multiply it by 3% of the balance. So if you had $5,000, 3 times 5 is $150. That is the minimum payment that you should be making on that credit card, that auto loan, the line of credit. And you're going to start to do your calculating. You're going, oh my goodness, I'm not even paying it. And I know that. If you pay 3%, by the way, onto the whatever credit card, auto, or line of credit, you name it, and you figure out 3%, and if you're not making the minimum payment at 3%, you're going to pay a lot of years, and that's a fact. Okay, so on $5,000 at 3%, if you do the calculations, and sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, what will happen is you would pay off that credit card in approximate 25 years, 8 months. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why? Well, you know it now. The secret is, and it's not a real secret because you just heard it from me, is you are paying interest daily. So, if you ask me, John, who makes more money? Consumer debt, like line of credits, student loans, credit cards, or real estate? And you know what I'm going to tell you? The line of credit. The student loans, the credit card, they make more money than real estate. They can get away with it. Why? You know the reason why. Is because the interest is done daily. Don't ever let anybody tell you that line of credit, auto loans, credit cards are done yearly. They'll calculate it out yearly, but I'm telling you, they're pulling the wool right over your eyes. You're paying a tremendous amount. Just if you can compare it, you have to multiply at least by 3. And then the effective interest rate is over 87%. And I'm not hoodwinking you, and that's based at 3%. So $5,000 at 3% is $150. I know that. Okay, I've done it hundreds and hundreds of times. $150. If you're paying $150, you will pay that credit card off in approximate 25 years, 8 months. I don't care what anybody tells you out there, you're going to pay it for less. No, you're not. Okay, I'm telling you the straight, you've got to know the truth. You need what's going on. That's why it's terrible and it's bad to have consumer debts, what I tell people. You don't want consumer debt because that is what's eating you up. And you're paying a tremendous amount. So what am I going to tell you? You need to get debt free. You need my program. It's going to be on an Excel program. It's in Microsoft. I'm going to get an audio file, and you're going to follow exactly. You're going to call me up. I'm going to give you instructions. When you're going to get an audio, you're going to get an Excel file, and I'm going to give you instructions. When you have paid for the program, you'll pay for it, and you can see I pay pennies on the dollars. I promise you'll save thousands and thousands of dollars of paying it differently. And if you just do it my way now, at the 3%, doing it differently than you're currently paying right now, then what's going to happen is you'll pay that $5,000 off in approximate, not 25 years, 8 months, and that's if you did exactly the same, and I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. Totally different. Nobody does it. I do it. And the reason why nobody does it, because it's too stinking complicated, because it takes me 3 to 5 business days to do the calculations. You will have that thing paid off in approximate 8 years, 7 months. And your jaw should be hitting the ground. Because that tells you from 8 years to 25 years, you've saved a tremendous amount in interest alone, which is that effective interest rate I'm talking about, that you're no longer going to put into the bank's pocket, but you're going to put it toward what? Your principal. So, is it important that you pay off consumer debt? Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. You've got to get out of debt as quick as possible. You get onto my program. Now, there are people out there who try to copy me, but it doesn't work. There's things called the snowball effect, and that looks somewhat like my program, but it's not my program. I'm going to give you special instructions that you have to give to each one of your banks. And I'm going to tell you certain things you've got to have. And you know what? It's going to take a little bit of work on your part because you're going to have to call each one of your creditors. You're going to have to ask them certain information and certain dates. And I'm not going to give you what it is. And then I'm going to teach you a brand new way of doing it. totally, and I'm telling you this, nobody does what I do. Nobody. Because it's really, really difficult. And even if someone tried to copy me, they still haven't got the whole formula, how the thing works. And you can see, I charge very few. I charge pennies on the dollars and the amount I'm going to save you. There are people who charge over $10,000, $5,000. I've seen over $3,500, and they can't even do remotely what I can do. I promise you, can't even do it. And I'm not charging you $10,000. You could check the price. You see what I'm charging on the credit card. All that I ask is that as you're going through these training videos, and as you begin to learn and understand, as I coach and mentor and train you, send all your friends over. Please, when you're watching these videos, please give me a thumbs up, because I need as many people. The way this works is word of mouth. So tell your people to come over. They're going to get an education. It's all free. I'm not charging you. I want you to learn. I want you to empower yourself. And you're going to be able to help yourself. And then if you really want to help yourself, then of course you'll get the debt program. I will do all the work for you, all the calculations. I'm going to put it all together for you. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you're going to have to give me is how much is what you owe on each one of your credit cards or consumer debt or line of credit, what is the minimum payment, and whether you can pay extra money going toward the debt. Don't worry which one of it, because I'm going to figure that out for you. You don't need to figure that. I will figure that all for you. You don't have to do anything. You just have to give me all the numbers, and then I'm going to give you instructions that you have to give to your bank, and you're going to get that information, and I'm going to put this all together, and it's going to take me about 3 to 5 business days, and you're going to get it. And I promise you, when you're on the program after a certain amount of years, you will be debt-free. You won't be paying the 25 years and wondering when in that world are you ever going to get debt-free. You won't have to worry about that, because my program absolutely works. I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people all over the United States become totally debt-free, and I started helping them at a very beginning when I tested the program. They used to do it for free. And then even at this price that I'm doing right now, I'm feeling guilty, but I have to charge something because it takes me a lot of work to do this. So give me a thumbs up that you like what I'm sharing with you, and bring all your friends. And by the way, every single friend that you refer over there, now you already see I charge very little on the program. I'm going to give you $100. So you see, I'm not here to gouge or hurt anybody. I'm wanting to help people. I'm wanting to empower everybody so they can do things different for themselves. Nobody teaches, nobody coaches, nobody mentors, and nobody does exactly what they do. I'm the only one. You can't get it in school. You can't get it in college. And I'm doing this so that you can help yourself to become totally debt-free. So if you like what I've been saying, give me the thumbs up, okay? And tell your friends. You'll get $100. I'm very, very good about that. And I'll see you on the next video.